सैन्य
निरीक्षण।
निरीक्षण, हाँ, थैंक यू। और संस्कृत इज द शॉर्टेस्ट। संस्कृत में कहते हैं, इट्स नॉट रिकॉर्डिंग नाउ एनीवे, सो
Prabhu, please make me the co-host. Yes, thank you so much.
तो शुरू करूं मैं?
या
ओके। तो श्रीमद् भागवत गीता यथारूप आज करने जा रहे हैं, उनका रिवीजन करने जा रहे हैं। उनका इंग्लिश नाम है ऑब्जर्विंग द आर्मीज ऑन द बैटलफील्ड ऑफ कुरुक्षेत्र। हिंदी का नाम है कुरुक्षेत्र की युद्धशील में सैन्य निरीक्षण, और संस्कृत नाम है अर्जुन विषाद योगा। तो श्रीमद् भागवत का मतलब है वेरी ब्यूटीफुल सॉन्ग, जिसमें 12 अध्याय है और 700 श्लोक। ये भगवान का गीत है जो उन्होंने अर्जुन को सुनाया था लगभग 5000 साल पहला, ज्योतिषसर कुरुक्षेत्र में, जहां कौरवों और पांडवों ने युद्ध किया था। तो ये चैप्टर 1 में 5 भाग बना गया है, 5 सेक्शंस। तो चैप्टर 1 to 13 is about युद्ध की तैयारी। चैप्टर 14 to 20 is about signs of victory, विजय का लक्षण। चैप्टर 21 to 27 में भक्त वत्सल्य, भक्त की फिलॉसफी और कृष्ण का प्रेम उनका डिवोटी के साथ। चैप्टर 4 में 28 श्लोका, सॉरी, 4th सेक्शन में श्लोका 28 to 38 is about Arjun's doubt, and the final one section is from shloka 39 to 46 about कुल का पतन। तो सेक्शन 1 युद्ध की तैयारी। तो पहला हम श्लोक पढ़ेंगे क्योंकि ये स्टार्टिंग श्लोक है, सो दैट शुड बी लर्न्ड बाय एवरीवन। धृतराष्ट्र उवाच धर्मक्षेत्र कुरुक्षेत्र समवेवत् युयुत्सवः मामकाव पांडवश्चैव किम अकुर्वत् संजय। तो इसमें प्रभुपाद जी कहते हैं द भगवद गीता शुड बी स्टडीड अंडर द डायरेक्शन ऑफ अ प्योर भक्त। हमें शिक्षा एक गुरु परंपरा से लेना चाहिए और हमें हमारा निजी स्वार्थ के लिए नहीं करना चाहिए। मतलब ये पर्सनल मोटिवेशन नहीं होना चाहिए जैसा कुछ लोग करते हैं फॉर फेम और मनी और क्राउड पुलिंग। वी शुड नॉट लर्न फ्रॉम दीज पीपल, क्योंकि ऑर्डिनरी पीपल जो है उनको ये वेद उपनिषद पुराण इसमें इतना समझ नहीं आती है। So one needs to be knowledgeable and have a good understanding of Sanskrit language also. तो लेकिन जो भक्त है वो इजीली भगवत गीता को समझते हैं क्योंकि वो गुरु, एक परम ऑथराइज्ड डिसिप्लिन सक्सेशन का गुरु से ज्ञान लेते हैं। तो अगर ऐसा करते हैं तो हमें ये जल्दी समझ में आते हैं। और ये जो डिसिप्लिन सक्सेशन है goes back all the way to Lord Krishna, and it is written, this is shown in the Bhagavad Gita Yatharup in the introduction. तो ये श्लोक में धृतराष्ट्र पहला सवाल पूछते हैं संजय को। संजय ने स्पेशल विजन दिया गया था, उनका जो गुरु था वेद व्यास, उन्होंने उनको स्पेशल विजन दिया था क्योंकि धृतराष्ट्र ब्लाइंड था, अंधा था। तो टू हेल्प हिम सी द इवेंट्स ऑफ द वॉर फ्रॉम हस्तिनापुर जहां वो बैठे थे। ना धृतराष्ट्र एक अनफेयर किंग था इन द सेंस दैट ही ऑलवेज शोड पार्शियलिटी टू हिज सन्स। उन्होंने पहले से ही सेपरेट रखा गया था पांडवों और कौरवों को। एंड ही वाज, वो बहुत पुत्र मोह में था। तो एक्चुअली धृतराष्ट्र का मतलब है वो जमीन नहीं छोड़ते हैं। तो ये शिक्षा उन्होंने उनका पुत्रों को दिया था। he made them separate from the beginning. So he is really responsible for this war in many ways. उनको डर था, धृतराष्ट्र को डर था कि कुरुक्षेत्र का कारण उनको पुत्रों एक समझौता ना करे पांडवों के साथ. इसीलिए उन्होंने ये प्रश्न पूछा. उन्होंने क्या किया? कुरुक्षेत्र एक धार्मिक पवित्र जगह थी सिंस द टाइम ऑफ सत्ययुग, जहां देवी देवता आया करते थे और पितरों का तर्पण किया जाते थे. इसीलिए उनका नाम धर्म क्षेत्र भी था. और एक और पॉइंट है कि धर्म का पिता स्वयं भगवान श्री कृष्ण वहां था ऑल्सो. तो प्रभुपाद लिखते हैं at the end of the shloka कि Duryodhan and Kauravas have been compared to the weeds growing in a garden. We pull the bad weeds out and throw them away. उसी प्रकार कौरवों को उखाड़ के फेंक देना चाहिए और पांडवों को पुनर्स्थापित करना चाहिए. Their kingdom should be returned to them. This was the goal of Shri Krishna. श्लोका 2 में Duryodhan in his heart was in a fearful state. He had also become blind just like his father Dhritarashtra, who was not only physically blind but spiritually blind. It was a case of the blind leading the blind. धृतराष्ट्र बहुत पुत्र मोह में था, इसीलिए ये स्थिति युद्ध तक पहुंच गई. Duryodhan, like his father, had not received any adhyatmic knowledge. Dhritarashtra had not awakened it in himself, and he knew that his 100 sons were the same. He also knew deep down that they would not compromise with the Pandavas, but still he asked the question. So Sanjay ये देखते हैं और उन्होंने महसूस होते हैं कि Dhritarashtra is a little bit worried. So Sanjay is the secretary of Dhritarashtra, and so he started to reply to Dhritarashtra in a way that would lighten Dhritarashtra's mood. तो वो कहने लगा, राजा दुर्योधन द्रोणाचार्य के पास जा रहे हैं. तो राजा दुर्योधन बुलाते हैं क्योंकि he wanted Dhritarashtra to feel like his son had already won the battle and was already the king. Okay, so, and also Duryodhan wanted to go and speak to Dronacharya about the students that he has in the Pandava army, because he wanted Dronacharya to know that partiality nahi karna chahiye, because he has to fight for him only. 1.3 में धृष्टद्युम्न का व्यू रचा बता गया है. धृष्टद्युम्न और द्रौपदी एक यज्ञ में अपीयर हुआ था that King Draupad did, and Dhrishtadhyumna was destined to kill Bhishma, and he had built a wonderful arrangement of the Pandava army, which Duryodhan was a little bit anxious to see, because he knew that they were Dronacharya students and Dronacharya had some affection for them. So he really wanted to make sure that Dronacharya had no sympathy from the Pandavas and their allies. So again, he was trying to make Dronacharya understand this. 4th shloka mein Duryodhan informs Dronacharya about the wonderful warriors like Bhim and Arjun on the Pandava side, and Draupad and Virat from the Virat kingdom, and Yuyudhana. 5th shloka mein Duryodhan continues naming the other great heroic warriors in the Pandava army: Drishtaketu, Chekitana, Kashiraj, Purujit, Kuntibhoj, and Saibya. 6th shloka mein Duryodhan continue karte, he's naming all the wonderful chariot warriors now: Utmauju, Abhimanyu, who was son of Subhadra, and Draupadi ka putra. Shlok 7 to 8. Yahan se Duryodhan begins to praise his own army, who had all the ever victorious warriors like Bhishma, Karna, Kripa, Ashwathama, Vikarn, and Burishrava, who was son of Somadat, and Somadat always won every battle. Then in 1.9, Duryodhan continues by saying that these warriors were so loyal to him that they would give up their lives for him. They were all expertise in military warfare. Shloka thus, Isme Duryodhan now begins the comparison. Unka army is unstoppable and their strength is immeasurable. We saw Bhishma Dev being such a powerful warrior and Senapati. Bhishma never loses any battles. He even defeated his own guru, Parshuram. Bhima was not comparable to Bhishma according to Duryodhan. Duryodhan had always envied Bhima from the beginning. He even tried to kill him before. And he also knew deep down that Bhima is the only person that could kill him in this battle. Shloka 11. यहाँ पे Duryodhan shows his abilities as a great diplomat. First, he praises Bhishma and then puts Bhima down at the same time. Then he reduces Bhima's value, but he also raises the value of all the other warriors in his army and asks them to protect Bhishma from their respective places because he's old and he didn't want the other warriors to feel left out from the praises. But no matter how clearly he presents himself, no matter how great a politician Duryodhan is, we cannot be following such a person as an ideal person because he is siding with Dharma. Duryodhan was confident of both Bhishma and Drona's victory and support because Duryodhan knew that both of them did not say anything when Draupadi was being undressed in front of everyone. They felt no pity for her helpless condition, even though they had some affection for the Pandavas and he wanted them to put aside all affections and he wanted Bhishma and Drona just to fight for him. Bara Shlok. Now Bhishma blows his shank in a very loud sound and Duryodhan बहुत खुश हो जाते प्रसन्न हो जाते क्योंकि ये आवाज जो है वो आर्मी को पैशन देते हैं लड़ने के लिए. On one side there is Lord Krishna present, which was making Duryodhan nervous. Thus Bhishma noticed this or knew this, and he blew his shank so loudly, hoping that this would cheer his grandson up and show him that Bhishma the lion was there to provide the victory. Tera Shloka, may various instruments were used in the war so that the mind and the body would wake up the person to fight, and the combination of all the instruments produced an extremely loud noise. That is the end of the first section. Now we come to section 2 from Shloka 14, sign of victory. तो ये श्लोका में सब अर्जुन और कृष्ण और अर्जुन का skills की बात किया जाते हैं. Now Arjun and Sri Krishna blow their divya shanks. All other shanks blown so far were not divya. When Krishna is with us, all the work is successful. No matter how much strength we put into a job, it will not be successful if Krishna is not there with us. So when knowing this, when Arjun and Duryodhan went to Krishna to help, Arjun just wanted Krishna. He refused the Narayan Seni which Krishna offered, and Duryodhan immediately took it up, thinking he had got the most wonderful thing, the most undefeatable army in the world. And he thought that Arjun was such a fool for refusing this. But Arjun was a devotee of the Lord. He knew the real truth. Duryodhan to illusion mein tha, or Arjun was walking on the path of truth, that Krishna is everything, and if Krishna is there, then nothing else is needed. Thus, a Bhakt chooses the Lord, and he also chooses Lakshmi Ji here, because she is never without her consort. Bhagwan's Bhakt does not stay in illusion. Duryodhan thinks Arjun to murkh hai, or Narayan Seni for refusing the Narayan Seni, लेकिन दुर्योधन भगवान में को नहीं मानते, and कुछ लोग उनके जैसे भी ऐसा सोचते हैं कि हम तो भगवान में क्यों मानेंगे? What is the use of following Krishna's instructions? What is the use of doing Krishna's seva? Why can't you just enjoy in this life? do whatever pap or whatever. Who knows if it is pap or not? Just carry on doing it. And this illusion is carried out by people, just like Duryodhan was an illusion. But when Arjun realized that Krishna is the enjoyer and creator of all, then he knows that nothing was needed. Bhagwan ka bhakt, Bhagwan ka instruction follow karte. He's not ready to take any bhautik anand, which is like taking poison, while others are drinking the poison and trying to enjoy. Because Bhautik Jagat is a poison and people are losing Bhagwan's Anand and drinking the poison. Bhakt knows Amrit kya hai or poison kya hai. Bhagwan Seva or Naam Amrit hai. They know that they'll never enjoy the poison. They would rather have Krishna with them. They choose Bhagwan ke saath or saband and ye seva उनको ये भौतिक लाभ से वंचित रखते हैं. They will only take what is required. And Krishna provides all this because he knows the problems that the bhakt faces. He removes them. For example, agar hum bimar hai or we are told to avoid spicy food and somebody gives us a really delicious spicy meal, we will be happy that they have, and somebody takes that away from us. We should be happy. A bhakt will be happy that someone has taken it away because it has taken the temptation away to not eat something which is bad for us. But a fool will lament that he did not get any of the food. He will get disturbed. So a bhakt only wants Bhagwan's guidance and help, and this is what Arjuna did. Bhakt always tries to please Narayan and Lakshmi, and who are inseparable. Bhakt is always trying to attain their mercy, and Lakshmi ji always gives what is required, just like parents give a child what is required. But they will not give their child a knife to play with because it is dangerous for him. In the same way, Bhagwan bhi aisa hi karte hai, he does not give his bhakt things which will harm him. But the fools don't get it, that their real need is provided for by the Lord. And what they are not getting is for their own good. Bhagwan is saving them from because they are under his shelter, but these people don't get it. Bhagwan ka bhakt always knowledge mein rehte hai. They're always in the light. They understand things the way they are, and the dualities of life are slowly resolved. And when the duality goes, they become more fixed in bhakti. Then we understand that Bhagwan is acting in our lives and we have to surrender. If we don't follow Bhagwan's instructions and the path is on us, we blame God for it. But if we follow Bhagwan's instruction, then Krishna will enter in your life. Otherwise, karma will act. Krishna reciprocates equally to how much we surrender. For example, if we surrender 10%, he will make sure that he reciprocates in 10%. And the rest of the 90% will be down to the karma. It will act. So Bhakt tries to surrender to Krishna fully because he wants Krishna to personally attend to his problems. And also a Bhakt does the Narayan Seva because that includes Lakshmi Seva. We know that if we catch Narayan's feet, Lakshmi comes automatically. But if we call her without Narayan, then Maya will come instead. So Arjun's days are looking quite good. His victory is looking very positive because Agni Dev is there. He's using Agni Dev's chariot. All the Devi Devtas are also pleased. And Krishna's 4 horses are there with him. In shloka 15, अर्जुन का शंख का नाम बता गया है देवदत्त, कृष्ण का शंख पंचन भीम का शंख पौंद्रम. All played very loudly, a terrific sound which shattered the hearts of the Kauravas. It was to give a message of victory to the opposite side. Arjun was called Dhananjaya because he also managed to get lots of dhan from all 4 directions for Maharaj Yudhishthir's yagna. और इसमें भगवान भी ऋषिकेश से बोला गया है जिसका मीनिंग है control of indriya of the bhakts. Bhim is called Rikoder or Bhimkarn So because he is so strong and eats so much, and he does lots of hard work. So we are Lord's part and parcel. The Lord exists and existed in us. It has always existed and existed, and so did we. People say that Bhagwan is a Roshni who comes here to take a body, and we are part and parcel of this light, and we come here to do the same as him. We devotees do not say this, that we will merge with this light. Bhagwan says to Arjun, I sit in everyone's heart. Upadrashta Anumanta, witness and sanctioner according to one's desires and karma. But for a bhakt, Krishna gives personal guidance and stops you from doing the wrong thing, like an uncontrolled child or a dog. Sola or Atra Shloka. Now Yudhishthir Maharaj blows his shank. It is called Anant Vijay. Nakul ka shank Sughosh. Sahadev ka shank Mani Pushpak. Other great warriors like King Kashi, Shikandi, Drishtadyumna, Virat, Satyaki, वो जो बहुत शक्तिशाली था, द्रौपदी का पुत्र और अभिमन्यु पुत्र, सुभद्रा पुत्र अभिमन्यु, जो वो महाबली कहलाते थे. So these were all present. Then Shloka 19, ये आवाज कौरव का हृदय को शैटर शैटर कर दिया. लेकिन पांडवों को ऐसा कुछ नहीं महसूस हुआ क्योंकि they had full confidence on Lord Krishna and so had nothing to fear under Krishna's shelter. On the other hand, Duryodhan was fearful. He did not believe in God and thought that he was the one controlling things. He wanted the fruits of all his hard work because he was the one who was doing the work. This is the Asuric pravati. They don't want God to be the sanctioner. They want to sanction things themselves. They don't want to give credit to the creator at all. Shloka 20. Many auspicious signs were present. Pandu Putra Arjun का चैरियट में हनुमान का ध्वज था. इसका मतलब कि हनुमान वहां उपस्थित थे. Then भगवान की अंतरंगा शक्ति लक्ष्मी जी भी वहां थी. राम और सीता कृष्ण और लक्ष्मी जी का रूप में था. So there was so much auspiciousness that Arjun की विजय निश्चित थी. Arjun now begins to lift his bow to shoot his first arrow, and he utters Bhakta Vatsalya before he is ready to shoot. So this brings us to the third section, Bhakta Vatsalya, which is Krishna's affection and love for his devotees. So Shloka 21 to 22. Arjun Nuvacha, Isenyor Ubhayor Madhya Ratham Stapaya Mechutta. अर्जुन भगवान को आदेश करते हैं, कृपा करके मेरा रथ बीच में ले चलो. मुझे देखना है कौन है जिसको युद्ध करना है और कौन अलग अलग शस्त्र लाया है. अर्जुन को देखना था उनका शत्रु कौन है, कौन इस युद्ध के पीछे तरसते हैं. तो भगवान अर्जुन का आदेश तुरंत पालन करते हैं और वो संकोच भी नहीं करते. भगवान परम पुरुष है, सेल्फ सेटिस्फाइड है. उनको कोई चीज की आवश्यकता नहीं है. He just wants to serve his devotees. Unlike उनको इसमें बहुत आनंद मिलते हैं. मटेरियल वर्ल्ड में जो है वो जो मास्टर सेवक को एक्सप्लॉइट करते हैं, और स्पिरिचुअल वर्ल्ड में सेवक भगवान की सेवा में लगे रहते हैं. एंड भगवान रिसिप्रोकेट्स इक्वली. भौतिक दुनिया में मास्टर इंद्रिय तृप्ति करते हैं और सेवक को बहुत पीड़ा देते हैं. मास्टर इज द सेंटर ऑफ अटेंशन. सेवक मास्टर को आदेश नहीं करते हैं, मास्टर सेवक को आदेश करते हैं. लेकिन यहाँ तो उल्टा हुआ. भगवान मटेरियल में कभी नहीं आते हैं. हम उनकी मार्जिनल तटस्थ शक्ति है और सेवक तीनों गुणों में फ्लक्चुएट होते हैं. अगर हम ज्यादा सत्व गुण में रहते हैं तो भगवान हमारे साथ ज्यादा आनंद ले पाएंगे. भगवान को उनका भक्त के साथ आनंद लेना बहुत पसंद होता है. In this case, भगवान is doing a very menial service as a charioteer to serve Arjuna, क्योंकि वो तो अच्युत है. He is the supreme being. उनका स्थान से कभी नहीं गिरते हैं और वो सबका इंद्रिय का स्वामी है. Bhagwan or Bhakt ki seva is full of love and sweetness. No one can order Krishna, but when his Bhakt orders him, he relishes it. And भक्त जो है वो वायलेंस में एंगेज नहीं करना चाहते हैं. They are peaceful, but in this case दुर्योधन बहुत अशांत थे. He would not listen to any peace talks, even by Krishna, क्योंकि वो बहुत ईर्ष्या से भरे हुए थे. He didn't want to give up his power by compromising with the Pandavas. And the Pandavas had no choice but to fight because they needed to rule a kingdom in order to survive. Kshatriya do not do any other work. Neither do they beg for their living. They have to have a kingdom to rule. 23 shloka, everyone knew that Durbudhi Putra of Dhritarashtra was Papi and a Dharmic, and everyone else who joined him were like him. And so Arjuna wanted to see who these people were. All the birds of a feather flocked together. Arjuna wanted to estimate their strength, even though Krishna was with him, and he had no doubt that victory was theirs. Shloka 24. यहाँ भगवान रथ को बीच में ले चलते हैं. Bhagwan knows why Arjuna wanted this. Arjun को Gurakesh बोला गया है क्योंकि he has conquered sleep and ignorance. The ignorance that we have here is that we don't know what our constitutional position is. When we sleep, we are ignorant. When we dream, we are ignorant. So this is a double ignorance that we're having. And we are already in a darkness anyway because we're surrounded by illusory energy or Maya. If we don't realize what our constitutional position is, then we are sleeping while we are awake. Even the Atma is sleeping. जो भक्त नींद और अज्ञानता दोनों पार कर सकते हैं वो समाधि में आ सकते हैं. This is real samadhi and it can be experienced in any activity, walking or running or cooking or anything. We don't have to just sit in a meditative pose to experience samadhi. Shloka 26 for 25. ये श्लोक में भगवान बताते हैं कि सब कुरु वहां उपस्थित था. कुरु और पांडव and Kaurava. Kurus are Pandavas and Kauravas. Arjun was still not clear about fighting, and so Krishna had to get him to change his behavior. And at the same time, Krishna wanted to prepare this Bhagavad Gita Gyan for the whole world to hear. Thus, he chose to put Arjun in an illusion. Arjun became the nimit for us to hear the words of Krishna. Krishna pointed out Drona and Bhishma, whom Arjuna loved. Then he also drew Arjuna's attention to the Kurus, whom he cared for. Thus, Arjuna was now put into a state of illusion by Krishna himself, where he became even more attached to his kinsmen. Shloka 26. Arjuna could see all his relatives in both the armies, fathers, grandfathers, grandsons, friends, well-wishers, etc., etc. Arjuna was so attached to all his relatives, and this was the reason Bhagwan wanted to give the Bhagavad Gita Gyan. This was all happening as part of Bhagwan's Leela. Shloka 27, Sanjay says to Dhritarashtra that when Arjun saw all his relatives, he got overwhelmed with compassion. Shloka 28 is the section 4, okay, of Arjuna's doubt. So 28 se shuru hote hai Arjuna ka doubt. Arjuna speaks here with Mahadhanudhar Arjuna, who is feeling like he cannot match the fighting spirit of his enemies, and who are friends and relatives. He feels his limbs are trembling and his mouth is drying up. भगवान का भक्त किसी का दुख नहीं देख सकते हैं. ये भक्त का लक्षण है. Arjuna thinks कि सब मारे जाएंगे and he feels compassion for them. If we compare today's attitude, it is the complete opposite. There is envious in the heart, burning like fire for the other person. This is a Surik Pravati Lakshan. Even brother and sister can be jealous of each other. The Bhakt prays to God to help others to come to Bhakti. They have Surik and Devik gunas in them. And a Bhakt, jo hai, a Bhakt, has the opposite, a Surik Pravati, who teach others to deny God, to turn away from Him, force them to forget God, and just forget everything about existence about God. 29 shloka. Yaha Arjuna is even more fearful. पूरा शरीर tremble करते हैं. His hair is standing up and his Gandhi bow is slipping from his hand and his skin is burning. Shloka 20 mein he is ready to shoot and now he is doing the opposite. This is the great Arjun, the most topmost archer in the world, and who could hit the reflection of the eye of a fish from water below. This is Arjun, and he is losing his mental balance due to the emotions he's feeling. Arjun's trembling is not like as it happened to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It is trembling from extreme fear. So if we feel like we're going to lose something or everything, we become fearful. The word mera, where people say ye mera hai, but actually it means that I'm using this thing for a purpose and for a certain time. The may is the user and mine is the object that is used for some time. For example, this is my mobile, lakin may mobile nahi ho. It is the same for the body. I am the user of this body for some time. I will use it properly for the purpose it has been given. It is a machine. But if we think that I am using this machine forever, then there is a fear of losing this body, which was the state that Arjuna had got into. For example, we are the driver of a car, but it does not mean that we spend all day and lots of money on the car. This is madness. It is the same with the body. We need to maintain it, but not obsessively. Arjuna is thinking that he is the body and all the relatives belong to him. So we must live without attachment and use the body for the purpose it is made for, self-realization. We must live like the obedient servant who uses things only but does not own them. This fearfulness in Arjuna is a bautic lakshan and he is suffering these symptoms as he is in the Hatma Buddhi at the moment. At first, Arjuna had adhyatmic compassion, but then it became bautic compassion, which is a similar example done by Bharat Maharaj. In Shloka 30, ye Shloka mein Arjun only sees killing and evil everywhere. He cannot stand there any longer. He doesn't want to fight. Arjun is lamenting about the loss of the body. He is thinking that his whole existence will be over. He was shocked to see these people so keen for war. Seeing this, his head started to spin and his body trembled. For example, mothers are soft hearted, but they are totally in the bodily concept of life. They get fearful over small things regarding their children. Ultimately, we are not the controller, but one who thinks that they are the controller, then they will be anxious. We have limited control. We must realize this. A family is the best medium for attaining Godhead if God is at the center of the house. Everyone should be doing some sort of seva. Families can create a golok type of environment with the correct sadhana. This is said by Bhakti Vinod Thakur. Otherwise, it is like graha andha kupam, like being in a well. If a soul falls into this type of family life, it cannot be saved. It will be killed eventually. A grahash ashram is an easy way to get Bhagwan Prapti. We need to be strong bhakts to do this. We should live our lives, but not live, but instead we are living other people's lives, and this makes us more attached to bodily concept. Arjun thinks that if he dies, then he won't enjoy with his family, and if he wins, who will he enjoy with? Because they'll all be dead. So this makes us forget our intrinsic characteristic is being a das of Bhagavan. 31 shloka. In this shloka, Arjun begins to give reasons for not wanting to fight. Due to his softness of heart, Arjuna could not kill his own people, whereas ordinary people will kill to gain material things. If he followed dharma, then Arjuna would go to the heavenly planets. If he died in the war, he would also go to heaven. A Kshatriya's duty is to fight and protect others, and he also rules the country. And in this case, he had to he was refusing to do the dharma, but Arjun was not going to get away with this. He wanted to escape. This is a dharma because it is running away from responsibilities. He wanted to become a sannyasi and meditate in a secluded place, but Arjun's mind would never have been calm as he would have been thinking about the war. Arjun did not want the kingdom at this cost. Today's situation is the opposite, where people will do anything, even kill, to gain material opulence. 32 to 35. Here, Arjun is prepared to be killed, but he refuses to kill anyone, even if he got all the three worlds. It would not make him happy. अर्जुन भगवान को गोविंद पुकारते हैं क्योंकि गोविंद का मतलब है इंद्रिय और गौ का को आनंद देने वाला. Our indriyas are not meant to be used for our enjoyment. They have to be used for Krishna's pleasure only. This is our swarup, and when we do this, it pleases Krishna, and as we are part and parcel of him, we also feel pleasure. Arjuna was thinking, my family will be killed, so why should I work so hard? I am doing all this for them after all. This is the bodily concept of thinking. Krishna is the doer, not us, and not us. We may desire many things, but only we will only get them if Krishna sanctions it, if the karma bank allows it. If it is for our own sense gratification, then it may never happen. But if we desire things for Bhagwan's seva, then Krishna will provide whatever is needed. You may even get a plane ride if it is done for Krishna's seva, even though your karma bank has only got a bicycle written in it. If there is no swath in doing any seva, then all the help from Krishna will come. A bhakt relishes serving Krishna even if there is pain. For example, like a mother who has to wake up in the night to feed her baby. Bhagwan's seva is the greatest service to humanity. 36 shloka. Arjun's first reason not to fight was that he felt daya and karuna. Dusra karan tha is that he had fear of incurring sin from killing the aggressors. But today people have no fear like this, they just kill. Arjun was attached to his bautic state. He is talking against Dharam when he refuses to kill because he will not gain anything. He wants happiness in this material world and he's only concerned about his relationships. The Shastras authorize killing six types of aggressors. Poison giver, setting fire to a house, one who attacks with deadly weapons, one who takes other person's wealth, one who occupies another's land, and one who kidnaps a wife. But now Arjun is ignoring all these aggressors and is talking like an uncivilized, uncultured person. He's stating the opposite. He's going against Dharma, which is to protect and get rid of such people. If Arjun forgives them, then he's committing a big pap by not killing them. For example, the dharma of a Rajrishi is to be a sadhu in order to rule well. There cannot be any Rakshash pravati in a Kshatriya because the praja will go towards Asurik pravati if this is the case. So to be in bodily concept is to have a Surik pravati. Thus Arjun is showing this. 37 to 38. Arjun भगवान को जनार्दन पुकारते हैं, मतलब सबका पालन करने वाला. Arjun is saying that all the people gathered here are ready to destroy the innocent family. These people do not know the difference between pap or punya. So why should we behave like them when we have the buddhi to discriminate between pap and punya? He's trying to reason like a saintly person, even though he knows that a Kshatriya cannot refuse a proposal to fight or gamble. He still feels that the parinam of this war is unfavorable, and so this is how he states his doubts to Krishna. So final section, Kul ka Patan, Shloka 39 se hai. Here Arjun gives his third reason not to fight, Kul ka Paramkara ka nash. And so society disturb ho jayenge, agar ye hua. So there are four varnas and four ashrams that are talked about in this shloka. Four ashrams are brahmacharya, जहाँ 25 साल से रहते हैं गुरु के साथ और गुरु का पालन करते हैं और ब्रह्मचारी व्रत करते हैं. दूसरा है गृहस्थ, आफ्टर 25 years शादी, फैमिली, बच्चा और धन एकत्रित करते हैं. तीसरा है वनप्रस्थ, 50 to 75 years वो slow down करते हैं. They are not that much dependent on their family and gradually they become more involved into God consciousness. And fourth, sannyas, who leave the family life and are full-time sevaks for Bhagwan. चार वर्ण जो है ब्राह्मण, वो शस्त्र का अध्ययन करते हैं, they practice the knowledge and give it to others. They also train the three other varnas. Kshatriya rules, administers, protects, manages. Vaishya गो रक्षा करते हैं, फार्मिंग करते, बिजनेस, प्लस इकोनॉमिक सर्कुलेशन. और शूद्र जिसमें इतना इंटेलिजेंस नहीं है, जस्ट लाइक अ ब्राह्मण, they don't have power like kshatriya, and they cannot rule, and they have no self motivation like a Vaishya. They're here simply to serve the other three who tell them what to do. They can't take initiatives to do things independently. But if they do their seva diligently and do their duty properly, they can become qualified for Bhagwan Prapti. Whatever pravati one is, the chance for Bhagwan Prapti Seva, Bhagwan Seva is always there. The Varnashram system has Dharm, Parampara, Niyam, which have to be followed to get ahead. The elderly people teach many samskaras, so Arjun's fear is that all these will be lost if elderly are killed and the whole Varnashram system will be destroyed. Young people will have no direction, and so they will get into kam vasana. Thus, the reason for acquiring this human body, the chance to get mukti from the cycle of birth and death, will be lost. If advisors of society are killed, then youth will not have the guidance to live according to rules and regulations set by Bhagwan. Households will become pap holders. Shloka Chalis. Arjun continues to talk about dharmic things simply to avoid what Krishna wants him to do. He talks of the pure, chaste, dharmic women who will be led astray if the men are not there to help them. They will mix with different types of men and create unwanted progeny. This type of progeny can create all types of disturbances by various behaviors in all areas of life. Women are soft hearted and innocent and can be led astray easily, like the children. If the women develop lots of bhautik ichcha, then their intelligence is lost and their chastity is lost. These days, both women and men cannot be trusted to believe and behave according to Guru, Shastra, and Sadhu. When the heart is soft and Bhavna Atma is there, then these simple women can be directed towards practicing bhakti easily. Then they can attain Bhagwan Kripa. And if she does Bhagwan Seva with true Bhavna, then the children will be of Dharmic Pravati. Women can be misled by corrupt men with vasanas. Colleges today have this problem, but if the people are complicated, then they will not understand, won't accept things easily. Control of senses and following of four regulated principles gives rise to chastity. Calm is controlled. We must learn to avoid them and go towards Krishna consciousness. The brahmachari state gives a lot of power for a person if they follow this. 41. Arjun further says that families become corrupt. Children are born from parents in the calm state are adharmic and they create troubles in families. If the purity is lost, then good children will not be produced. Only good children who are dharmic pravati go towards uh, towards the adhyatmic. And if elders of family are lost, then the pindan kriya will be lost. Thus, kriya is not done to help the dissatisfied, miserable souls of the ancestors who are troubled and can't find another body and are always in pap pravati. These souls will not be helped if the pinda kriya is not done. But Bhagwan's bhakt can change this. They can offer prasadam to destroy their pap, which is stopping their spiritual journey. Pindadan is done by non-devotees. This is a debt we have to our ancestors. We have this body because of them, and this can be cleared by bhaks by giving them prasadam. For bhaks, when we surrender to the lotus feet of Mukund, even if we don't do pitradan, we will be freed of obligations to demigods, sages, general living entities, family members, and forefathers. All will be liberated. 42. Arjun continues again in the same way. Dharam, Kul all will be destroyed by corrupt and adharmic children who will destroy families through their evil deeds. Children with no samskaras who have no interest in bhakti will be there and they try to lead others away from bhakti. Sanatan Dharam and Varnashram Dharam, which are for the ultimate salvation of moksha prapti, will break down. And if these people lead society, then our lives will be wasted because society will forget who Vishnu is and become atheists. and then the blind will lead the blind, and society will go towards adharm and hell. 43. Now Arjuna talks of how he has heard from disciplic succession that those who destroy family traditions stay in hell. ये traditions जो बना गया है भगवान की सेवा के लिए are, if they are broken, then that person will always be in Narak. Various traditions are there which keep people from keep people doing the seva for Bhagwan, parikrama, puja, homa, visit Bhagwan Dham, uh, Narayan Upasana. All these have been designed by the intellectual ancestors so that their future generations are forever engaged in Bhagwan seva, from waking up in the morning to going to sleep at night by doing pranam in the morning to Bhagwan, doing arti, doing bhog, jap, satsang, anything which associates with God all day. So anyone who takes this away is destined to stay in hell. For example, Bhagavad Gita has been understood by previous Guru Acharyas. And so if we understand it through them, then we will understand it quicker. But if we try to study by ourselves, then it will take a very long time. The 15 or 20 years of tapasya of a guru will be impregnated into our hearts. Then this will give us a desire for Bhagwan Seva quickly, like Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada did for us. Many professionals interpret Bhagavad Gita for their own understanding, for their own fame and following. This is not effective as when a bhakt does it, because a bhakt does it for no swarth. The same qualities will be transferred to you if you listen to a person who is only interested in fame and creating a following and wealth. Thus, Krishna tells us why we have to really learn from the proper guru. The Bhagavad Gita should be learned from a proper guru. 44. Arjuna is further giving his bhautik gyan and understanding. However, even if there is gyan, one should understand when and where to use it, because the knowledge has to be applied practically. For example, we studied Bhagavad Gita, but if we didn't apply it practically in our lives, then this gyan will be the cause of our ego. But if we do Bhakt Sangati, then it becomes Vigyan, because the other Bhaktas will show us practically how to do things, and we won't talk like Arjun was talking. Arjun has not applied the Gyan. He's only saying what he has heard from others. Arjun does not understand what dharam is, which are the rules set by Bhagwan. He has not understood the Guru Shastra Sadhu instructions. We are fighting against who and the others who are sorry. Arjun is soft in his heart. The others who are fighting against him all want to kill. Anyone that comes in the way of them getting the kingdom, they will fight. This is Pap, but Arjun is a Bhakt. And although he is thinking from the Bhautik plane and he doesn't understand things fully, he still does not want to incur any Pap. 45. Arjun decides not to resist their fighting. He does not care if they kill him. The Kauravas are hell bent on this war, but Arjun does not want to touch his weapons. These people are too attached to materialistic life, like the donkey and the she donkey. Even if the donkey is kicked by the she donkey every time he tries to have sambandh with her, he will still want to enjoy with her. He likes her kicks because he is so attached to sense gratification. The same with a family member. If a family member is treated very badly by other family members, they will still not leave due to great attachment to the family. So Arjun wants to save his family at all costs, and he won't incur any sin. He does not understand dharam ko sakshat pranitam. Dharam is to do what Krishna says. Instead, he tells of his reasons logically, which are correct but not practical. For now, he can't apply his gyan to the correct place due to bhautik sthiti and the teen guno ka prabhav. This happens with bhakts. They may have read the Bhagavad Gita, but practical application will not be there. And in some, there will be comparisons between each other. And this is a good test to show how the Bhagavad Gita Gyan is working on someone or not. Finally, 46. Arjun is in very deep grief. He's bewildered. He's pushing his bow and arrow away and he sits down on the chariot. He laments about his situation. This is Bhagwan Krishna's Leela, and he wanted to see if Arjun had even a slight desire of any sense gratification. Arjun was genuinely not into sense gratification. He was a soft-hearted person, and he didn't want to kill his innocent family. He had adhyatmic compassion first, but then it changed to bhautic compassion. And so Krishna wanted to see if he had any Indriya Tripti desire left. Thus, Arjun is definitely ready to be given instructions for self knowledge, which Arjun willingly took and obeyed Bhagwan's Adesh. Hare Krishna. Jada lamba tha.
Very nicely prepared, well. Anyway, so
बहुत अच्छा बोला माता जी आपने, बहुत ही अच्छा
so it
लगा.
will help all of us. Whenever we want, we can hear 1 hour lecture, 40-50 minutes lecture, and all the revision will be there.
Yes.
And you will,
ये रिकॉर्डिंग भेज दीजिएगा.
yeah, it is there on the YouTube. You can see just.
Thank you, Rima ji, बहुत अच्छा.
Yes. Thank you very much.
पूरा रिविजन हो गया माता जी, पूरा.
So this revision should happen every
माता
month.
जी, बहुत अच्छे से आपने बोला.
Very good. Thank you very much. So
Very
now,
nice, Rima Mataji. Very nice.
so who will be doing day after tomorrow?
मैं करूंगी प्रभु जी.
Second chapter.
Chapter two.
Yes, be ready.
जी.
So it is your service for others also. Just see how nicely you will hear all lecture and conclusion you will present means 1 hour, everything will be in their mind. Maybe 1 hour, 15 minutes, 72 sloka are there, little longer chapter, no issue. So again, we thanks. Whom we should thank? Yes, Rima Mataji.
पहले आपको प्रभु जी.
You Prabhuji first, and then Srila Prabhupada for allowing it to happen. And then, of course, Bhagwan.
And we should thank you for putting your effort. It's very nice. It will come out.